Want to start a business in 2025? One that runs on autopilot, one that allows you to make money from home, and one that's perfect for beginners? A lead generation agency is your answer. The beauty of it? You don't need any fancy technology or tons of experience to get started with this. Just follow this step-by-step guide and you can build a thriving agency, even from scratch. All right, guys, so getting right into it, we need to start off with a very important point, okay? What is lead generation? What is a lead generation agency, all right? So lead generation, very simply put, it's very easy to understand. I know that it sounds a little bit complicated, but it's really not at all, okay? Lead generation is just the action or process of finding and attracting potential customers for a business's product or service, all right? So what this business model is, or what this agency is you're essentially just partnering with a B2B business to help them get more clients and customers, okay? So what a B2B business is it's a business who provides a product or service to other businesses, all right? And then your client, which is another business, would pay money to the business, all right? So that's essentially how a B2B business works, all right? So this is important because we're only going to be partnering with B2B businesses only. And if this doesn't make sense, trust me guys, I'm gonna get into it a little bit more nitty gritty. You guys will understand everything, okay? So an example of what a B2B business is it could be like a marketing agency or a software company, right? So let's say on one side, we have a B2B business, right? A service-based business like a marketing agency, right? And on the other end, right, we have their potential clients or customers, right? So what we call their potential clients and customers, we call them that's their target market, right? That's who they want to sell to, right? So a marketing agency, they want to sell to a company who they can do marketing for, right? And a software company, they want other companies who need their software, right? They want to sell to people who need their software, right? So the question becomes, how does a B2B business find their target market, right? How do they find who they want to sell to? Okay, how do they get them interested in what they're selling, right? How does a marketing agency or a software company find people like out there who can become interested in their business, right? So let's use a marketing agency as an example, okay? So on the left here, let's say we have a marketing agency, and on the right, we have their target market, which is people who need marketing services, right? Those are people, contacts at companies who, need marketing. So the question is, and we're going a little bit deeper, is how do these marketing agencies, how do they find contacts who need marketing, right? How do they get them interested in their services? And it's lead generation, right? And you might be thinking, what is a lead? Right? I know I'm generating leads. That's what lead generation is, but what is a lead, right? In business, a lead just refers to a potential customer, right? It's someone who is interested in your service or product, and it usually comes in the form of an email or a phone number with the name of a potential customer, right? So a very quick story just to kind of paint this picture. Let's say you go to a car dealership and you're interested in a car, right? Usually they'll ask you for your name, your phone number, and your email, right? Once you give them your phone, your email address, and your name, you have now become a lead because you have expressed interest in something, and they're probably going to call you, they're going to reach out to you, right? They're just going to email you, reach out to you, so you've become a lead for them, okay? That's what we're trying to generate, is just people who are interested in a business's product or service, right? So back to the marketing agency though, right? So these marketing agencies, they need to generate leads, right? Leads are just interested people. They need to generate interested people. Just replace leads with interested people. So interest generation, interested people generation, right? That's what we're doing. So how do they generate these leads, right? They have to do outreach. They have to reach out to people, right? And the best form of outreach is going to be cold email. Okay, so what I'm going to be teaching you how to do, and what a lead generation agency does, is they send cold emails to generate leads for these businesses, right? And the reason why I love it is because I don't have to talk to anyone. I don't have to talk to people. All I have to do is sit behind my laptop, send emails, and get paid thousands of dollars for doing that. And that's exactly what I'm going to share with you how to do in this video. All right. So essentially, you can partner with a marketing agency or a B2B business or any type of business, and you just send emails for them. and you get paid thousands of dollars for doing that, right? So does that make sense? Comment below if that makes sense. Comment below if my explanation for what lead generation agency is makes sense, and if it doesn't, I'll try to make a video making it a little bit easier. But going into the next one, selecting a niche. So now, after you know what a lead generation agency is, we need to select a niche, right? And this is super important because it's going to dictate how successful your business will be, right? Now, most people make the mistake of trying to niche down like too soon, and they just get way too specific with it, right? It's actually better to start with a much more generalized and broad approach. You know, reach out to a lot of niches, and then you want to find out what niches and what industries are working best for you. You know, get them results, and then you want to niche down later, and I'll explain that process in a bit. Okay. Now, remember, we're only going to be working with B2B companies because those are the ones that we can use cold email to get results for, right? So some examples of these B2B niches are going to be marketing agencies, B2B SaaS, which is just software, financial service companies, insurance companies, information and technology companies, other software companies like enterprise software, and education. All of these work, and all of them need lead generation, right? But a really big problem comes up for a lot of people. They're like, how do you know which one to pick, right? How do I know which one to pick? I get so many people that ask me all the time, like, how do I get started? I don't know what's the best niche to pick. Honestly, man, just get started. Okay, just get started. Speed separates the winners from the losers here. Okay, let me paint a picture for you really quick. Let's say there's two people, right? Two people want to start a lead generation agency. You have one person who they start their lead generation agency, they start sending emails, they start reaching out to people. They're not really thinking about, you know, what niche should I pick? What logo do I need for my website? I need to build my website. I need to do everything. All they start doing is start sending emails to as many people as possible, trying to get attention, trying to generate leads for themselves, right? Trying to get attention for themselves and trying to get people interested in their product, right? That's person A. And then person B is spending a lot of time watching so many YouTube videos on what's the perfect niche, how do I build a website, you know, what industry should I go after, how do I write this email, how do I do this, how do I cold call, how do I do LinkedIn, and they're just spending so much time researching. Which person do you think is going to make money faster? Which is all you guys care about. Which person is going to make money faster, right? It's going to be person A, right? Because the thing is, speed kills. Speed is the killer. That is the thing that's going to make you smash it, right? And that's exactly what Jaden did, right? He joined our program, and instead of just asking so many questions and wasting time thinking about making everything perfect, he just started executing on the exact roadmap that we gave him, right? He ended up getting paid in his first month, and he hit $7,000 a month in his first 90 days. And this was him being a high school student working part-time at Walmart with no past experience, which is absolutely insane, guys, right? So speed kills, okay? After you pick your niche, which you don't really need to pick your niche at all, you should just be getting after it and going after a general, more broad approach. You need to craft an offer, okay? So when you're crafting an offer, the number one most important thing to remember is, what does the client want? What would the person you're selling to want, right? Now, before I even get into how to create an offer, what is an offer, right? A lot of people are confused about this still, right? There's so many videos out there, like Alex Hormozy literally has made $100 million offers, and that's a huge book, but people still don't understand what an offer is, okay? And I want you guys to understand that a service is not the same thing as your offer, okay? So let me paint the picture for you again. So some people will be like, hey, what's your offer? It's like, yeah, I generate leads for people. No, that's not your offer. That's the service that you're delivering to get that offer, to like uphold your offer. What your offer is a pain that you're solving, the solution that you're getting for them, and what time frame you're getting it for them, and what are you gonna do if you don't get that for them, right? So it's your offer, essentially the best way I can explain it is just your I help statement, right? So I help X people get Y result in Z time without doing X, or else or give you your money back, or we work for free or something, right? That's what your offer is. So next time you're looking at just starting a business, or like you're thinking about starting an agency, think about what is my offer. And that's exactly what we're gonna get into right now. So think about this. The number one most important thing to remember is, what does the client want, right? And the answer is always the same. It's more revenue, more money, right? They want more money. So we want to create an offer that focuses on the end result that your potential clients want, which is revenue. All right. So here's an example of one of my offers when I signed my first ever client. Okay. I was targeting B2B SaaS companies, and I knew that their average deal size, like their average product, like how much they sell their product for, was around $25,000 to $50,000. So this was my offer. This is like word for word the offer. We're helping B2B SaaS companies add $200,000 in ARR, which means annual recurring revenue, in 12 months by building cold email systems, all right? Or we're helping B2B SaaS companies add $200,000 in revenue in 12 months or less by filling up their pipeline with SQLs using cold email systems. Now, let's do some math here to show you why this makes sense. So let's say that you reach out to a software company who sells software to insurance companies, right? Let's say that they sell their software for $50,000 a year. And yes, this is pretty normal in the enterprise niches. And let's say that you're charging them $3,000 a month and you get them 10 leads. You got to understand that that's actually a huge win for them, and it's a no-brainer for them. Because if you get them 10 leads, the industry average closing rate is like 15 to 20%, right? So that means out of every 10 leads that someone gets, they're probably going to close anywhere from 1 to 2. So even if this client that you're working for, this company that you're working with, you're partnered with, is below average, closing at 10%, that means they're going to close 1 out of the 10 leads that you get them, right? And that means they're going to make $50,000 working with you. And that would mean that they're making a 16.6x return on investment by paying you that $3,000. That's a no-brainer for any business. That's a no-brainer for anyone, right? So that's how you create a no-brainer offer, okay? Now let's talk a little bit about setting up the systems and how you actually need to set up everything and all the infrastructure to start this business, right? So what you need to do is you need to build a system that can automatically send hundreds or thousands of emails per day without you having to lift a finger, okay? So you only need 2 softwares in order to do that, okay? The first one is going to be something called coldsire.com, and the second one is smartlead.ai, okay? So coldsire.com, I'll pull it up right now. ColdSire is just a place, and it literally says it right there. It's the cold email setup platform, right? You can buy domains, which are just like websites. You can buy Gmail accounts and like Outlook accounts in bulk, right? And then you can easily connect them with your email sending platform, which we're going to be talking about, smartlead.ai. So everything is so easy to use. All you do is click get started, you make your account, and it literally takes you through the process step by step. It's so easy, guys. And then the next thing you want to be using is a tool called smartlead.ai, right? So this is a tool that can just send thousands, hundreds and thousands of emails automatically every single day without you having to lift a finger, right? So those are the only 2 softwares that you need to get started with this, right? Now, let's talk about getting your first client. Now that you've set up those 2 softwares, ColdSire and SmartLead, you have all those things set up, right? And you know your niches, you know you're gonna go after generalized niches, you know your offer, which is going to be just helping people generate more money with sending cold emails, right? Now what you have to do is you need to get your first client, okay? Now, the way that you're going to do this is the same exact way that you're going to be getting results for your client, right? And that's automated cold email sending. So now what you're going to do is you're going to use another software, right? You're going to use another software to create a lead list. So now what a lead list is just a list of people, right, who are in your target market, who are in the target or in the market of people who you want to sell your product to or your service to, right? So you're going to create a lead list on Apollo like the one here, right? Literally, this is a screenshot of the dashboard. You can even copy the same exact search filters. But essentially what Apollo is it's just a place to get information, to get data, and to get contact information of the people that you want to sell to, right? In order to send emails to people to get them interested, you need their emails, right? So this just gets you the emails of those people, okay? And then you're gonna use Smart Lead or any other email sending tool to send your cold emails, okay? Now, here's an example of an email that you can send, right? You can read these and go over them, but I actually want to write one live with you guys and give you like 2 different offers that you can do, right? So, hey Bob, we're helping software companies like yours add $200,000 in ARR in 12 months by filling their calendars with SQLs using cold email automation. Worth exploring further. SQL just means sales qualified leads. Now, for more beginners who they don't understand these words, or they just feel like they just want to get their first client as soon as possible and they just want to book calls, you could literally do this. This is like a really good one. Like, we're helping software companies like yours generate 5 to 10 qualified sales calls with decision makers every month on a pay per call basis, meaning you only pay when we book calls. The first call is free, and if we don't book you 10 calls in, let's say, 60 days, we refund you 100%. Worth exploring further. Now guys, I'm gonna be totally honest with you, this is a banger email, right? You will get calls, you will sign your first client if you send this exact email. I'm being so serious because most people aren't willing to do this, right? They're not willing to do this. If you're willing to have the balls to do this, you're going to make money, right? And I'm gonna teach you how to get results for these people too. So it's like, I'm telling you, like, this is actually gonna get you results. After you start getting some like traction, you can use this too, but I'm telling you, when you're starting out, really use this because it's gonna crush, okay? Now, after you send these emails, some people are gonna say no, and some people are gonna say yes. Now, with the people that say yes, you're going to schedule a discovery call with them. Okay, so the discovery call is just to make sure that the prospect needs your services and to make sure that they're a good fit. Now, they're also gonna trust you right out of the gate because you're offering them the same exact service that got them on the call, right? So you've already proven your competence, right? Because you already sent them a cold email and they got on a call with you. So if they're like, wait, how do I know this works for me? You're like, well, I just got you on the call, right? I just got you on the call with a cold email. So, and then if they're a good fit, you're gonna schedule a proposal call with them and you're gonna walk them through 2 things and that you create for them in between those calls, right? So you're gonna have a discovery call and you're gonna have a proposal call. On the discovery call, you're just gonna see if they're a good fit. And on the proposal call, in between that, you're gonna create a pitch deck and an agreement, right? So on the pitch deck, you're gonna talk about their issues with generating leads and you're just gonna position yourself as the bridge to the solution that they want. Okay. Now you're gonna walk them through your process and the numbers like I did for you earlier in this video. All right. The agreement is just a contract that has your terms and pricing, right? And your pricing should be a performance-based offer. So you're gonna charge them anywhere from like $1,000 to $3,000 as a setup fee and like $300 for every call that you book. And then when you agree, you're gonna build the same system for them with ColdSire and Smart Lead that you built for yourself, right? It's the same exact thing. That's the beauty of outbound, right? That's the beauty of a lead generation agency. You have one skill, you have one method, and one system, right? For yourself and for your clients. This is actually exactly what Joe did when he joined our program. He signed his first 10 clients in like 6 months while working full-time, and he was able to quit his full-time job, right, guys? And then you're gonna do this same exact process like 2 to 5 times to get a couple clients. And then you're gonna shift your focus on getting results for them so that you can really scale, all right? Let's talk about service delivery. Now, right after you start signing clients, you have to get them results, right? Now you have to get them results. So you don't really know anything about their business yet though, right? You don't really know anything about their business. All you know is that you want to get paid. So what you want to do is you want to send them an onboarding form, right? And then you want to set up an onboarding session with the client, right? An onboarding call. So, and what that's going to do is it's going to allow you to know who is their target market, right? Who do they want to sell to, right? What is their offer, right? What solution are they giving to people, right? What is the pain that they're solving, and what is the solution that they have, right? And what's the time frame, right? And then what are their case studies? What are their testimonials? Like, do they have any social proof? Have they gotten results for people, right? You need to know these 3 things are very important, because you're going to use those two things to create, number 1, lead lists, and number 2, email campaigns. And this is exactly what Outbound Gen's fulfillment process looks like. And that's my agency, right? So onboarding, I invite my client to a Slack channel, and then I invite them to fill out an onboarding form, and then I set up their email infrastructure, right, which is Cold Sire and Smart Lead, and then I have an onboarding call with the client, right? And that's where the client provides a list based on their past ICP. Like, they provide me a list of data of like context of who they think is their best customers, right? And then I create a list, right? And then I send it in the Slack channel, and then what we do is we prepare email messaging, we send it over to the client for review, and then we launch campaigns, and then we handle the replies and responses, and we book the meetings for client via Calendly. So we book the meetings for them manually with like a calendar link, and then every time a meeting is booked, a Slack message is sent in the client's winning channel, and then in the client's wins channel, that's just a channel that we have for the client. So every time we get them results, like they just see them coming in. And the client will have an access to like an Excel table with a list of the calls booked, right? So every time we book them a call, we want to keep track of those so that we can charge them properly, right? And then the client will be charged on the 1st of the month based on calls booked the month prior, right? So that's how it all works. Okay, so let me get a little bit deeper into the technical stuff, because a lot of you guys have been commenting on my videos and you're like, well, how do I actually like do the service delivery? How do I actually get results for the clients, right? So this is how you're gonna do it. After the client fills out the onboarding form, you're going to build a lead list with Apollo for your client, right? You're basically going to use the onboarding form. You're going to ask them questions like, who is your target market? What are the job titles you're going after? What is the revenue size? How many employees? What is the demographics? And then you're going to plug those into Apollo. All right, and then you're gonna have that lead list. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna craft different variations of email campaigns to send to those leads, right? So for each campaign, you're gonna send it to 1,000 leads, right? So let's say you have 10,000 leads. You're gonna make 10 different campaigns. You're gonna use this as a gauge for your offer, right? Now, this is the exact process that I use for my clients. So what we're gonna do is we wanna write email scripts according to the styles that we have found to work best, right? So you wanna split test these different elements of the scripts, like the pain points, the offer, the call to action, and we wanna see which one works best, right? So think of everything that I just talked about in the onboarding form as different variables, right? So what is your offer? What pain are you solving? Right? What social proof do you have, right? And those are all different variables. Like that's A, B, C, and D. And then we want to figure out what combinations of these variables are going to get the responses. What combination of these variables are going to book calls, right? So like think of these like personalization, offer, CTA, like these are variables, right? And what we want to do is we want to just basically test different combinations of those variables and see what works best. So for example, the target market, the offer, and the CTA, like those are variables, right? So we want to make different combinations of those variables in our email scripts. And then we want to see which one has a 0.3% booking rate. Right? So for example, let me break that down a lot simpler, because I know I'm getting a little bit technical with this, but I'm telling you it's really not that complicated, right? So let's backtrack. Remember how I said you have 10,000 leads? Let's say you have 10 campaigns. Let's say in one of those campaigns, you get a lot of interest. A lot of people are replying. You book 5 calls from a campaign of 1,000 leads. If you do that, that means you have an above a 0.3% booking rate, right? That means you're getting good results. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna scale that campaign. You're just gonna add every lead into that campaign because that's printing, right? And if none of them have that, then you're gonna create new combinations. But usually if you do your due diligence, you have like 5 to 10 different campaigns, you're going to be able to figure out which one actually scales, right? Okay. When you hit that number, you're going to be able to generate like 10, 20 calls every single month for your client, and you're gonna be able to be getting paid $5,000 to $7,000 a month for your client, all right? Now, let's talk about scaling, okay? And I know I've been going super in-depth into this stuff, and I hope you guys have been getting value out of this, right? But I have a little bit more I wanna talk about, okay? So scaling. So after you get your first results for your client, that's when you're going to get your first case study, right? So a case study is basically one of your clients making a video saying that they worked with you and that you got them amazing results. So a video interview works great for this. You're basically gonna hop on a Zoom call, record it, and you're gonna ask them this. How was your pipeline, how was your calendar looking before I started working with you? How many calls are you booking now? How much revenue has been added since I started working with you, right? And has this affected any other parts of your life or business? And I would add one more. What would you say to anyone who's on the fence of working with us, right? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna do a Zoom call with them and you're gonna record this, right? Then you're gonna put that on your landing page as social proof for other potential clients to see, right? And now, you have social proof, you have testimonials that you can use in your copy to get way more attention from potential clients, right? For example, let's say that you worked with a marketing agency who did SEO and you helped them make $20,000 with cold email. Now you can reach out to all the SEO companies in the world and you can say, hey John, I came across X agency and I saw that you've worked with some pretty notable companies, so I thought this would be relevant. I just helped Y agency generate $20,000 in new deals last month by helping them generate calls and pipeline using outbound automation or using cold email or by I would literally say by booking sales calls for them on a pay per call basis. Would this be worth exploring further? All right. And this is going to make your offer stand out for the crowd. And this, guys, is how you get to $10,000 a month. Let's get started with getting your first lead gen agency client today. If you want help with this, you want help getting your first client, you want help getting to $10,000 a month as soon as possible, hit the link in the description below and book a call with my team. Other than that, I'll see you in the next one.